Neil. And so Neil started recording, so there'll be a video of it and an audio of it, of a little training on the things, the questions that we have.
Okay, do you see my cursor, my little
Yeah, we
arrow?
see your cursor.
Okay,
yeah,
so
dancing around.
I can point
Yeah.
to things with that. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So the first question is how to do the conversion, and there were two conversions, the ones I want to do, so maybe we could do the one, because you just told me about the, I think it's called relaxation to produce or something, because we thought maybe that was like the Relaxol on the amp coil.
Okay, so I just went to the R on the database, highlighted relaxation to produce, and it shows that it's from the CALF database, the CALF database, and there's 3 frequencies, 6,000, which is a feel-good rejuvenation frequency, and then 10 and 7.83. Okay, so what you do is you click Send to Buffer, and that sends those 3 frequencies to the buffer. Okay, and you can do as many other things as you want. If you wanted to, you could, what was the other one, anxiety?
The other one
Would
was
that help if we?
The other one was Sleep 1. But I think Sleep 1, that could have been in the
that's a saved program that I saved. That's in, I don't think Sleep 1
oh, that's
is
in the,
even in.
Sleep 1 is in the open program, the file, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so that one won't be in this send to buffer.
Okay.
So the thing you want to do first is, if you're making a multifaceted program, you want to do stuff from the database, from across
yeah.
So there, so just like we did relax to, where did that one go?
Relaxation
to produce. And then when you send it back, okay, so now after you've added 1, 2, 3, 10 things, you can view the buffer to make sure you don't have any duplicates and you actually got what you wanted. And there you have a choice of you can highlight it and delete it, you can print it, or you can clear it, or you can just exit. So right now I'm just going to exit because that's what we want, is the relaxation to produce.
Okay.
And then to load the buffer, so there's basically 3 programs on this screen. Over here on the left side is access to the database. So that covers the A through Z across the top, which brings up that one, and then you pick, and then that's where you send as many as you want to the buffer, view the buffer, and when you're done with that, then you go over to the far right, which is the program manager. So this square over here is like a completely separate program inside of that program, and you can load the buffer by hitting the buffer button. Now, it will always clear everything that's in the program manager. So you can't add to a program after you've hit the buffer button. If you decide you want to add more to that, then you have to go back to the send to the left-hand side and pick something else, send it to the buffer, and then it will be added to what you already put in the buffer, which was relaxation to produce. And then you reload the buffer. So in that stage, now if you want to add one of the saved programs to that, so you go up to the file toolbar in the drop down and click on open program, and you can bring that down to Sleep 1. There, right, Sleep 1. So this is a program that I compiled and I I don't even remember where I got all the information because we have access to a whole bunch of databases. Now you have a choice of clear the table, which would clear the 3 frequencies that you have up there, or you can add it to the table. So by clicking add to the table and then clicking load, I'll move this out of the way, then
You
it
said
added
clear,
that.
oh, closed table. Okay, closed table is the same. Oh, no, it says clear table. I get it. So you want to add to it. Okay.
You want to add to the table. The default setting is clear table. If you have that clicked, then it would have erased the 3 frequencies that we had from relaxation to produce.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
So then you can close the load, this little box that's load save programs. Close that. Now you can, it's added that to, okay, in the top right hand corner is a no, low, and high. This is what sorts the frequencies. And so you can sort it by low, and there you will see that there's 3, 3.59, 7.83, and there's a bunch of them that are actually below 10 that you're going to want to convert. Now the first thing you want to do is the apply button, this little box here that says RDF. RDF stands for remove duplicate frequencies. And when you hit that apply button, if there's any duplicates, and you'll see right there, there's 2 7.83s and 2 10s and stuff. So when you click that button, it found 3 duplicates and removed them when you click close.
Oh, so you just hit apply,
and what the apply button does is the first thing is if that box RDF is checked, it will remove duplicate frequencies. Okay, now a little secret that if you've added 10 different programs, and sometimes you might have triplicate or quadruplicate frequencies, the apply button only does 2 at a time. So sometimes you have to hit the apply button again.
Oh, I see.
In this case, because there'll still be some duplicates, so I just get in the habit of hitting the apply button twice.
Okay.
Okay. So that gets rid of any duplicates. Now, right below where it says 40 in green and it says cap ceiling, okay, what that does is the program automatically converts any frequency above 40,000 and reduces it automatically to a number that fits in, because our machine goes up to 40,000. So any frequency, it gets in above 40,000, it gets inaccurate. So that's why we stop it at 40,000. Okay, and what that is doing, and if you go to the tools menu and you drop down to frequency conversions, and did the box with the yellow and the teal color show up?
Yeah, that's here.
Okay, so in there, so right now we're going to convert the first number, which is 3. So take that out, just highlight it, and then type in 3. Okay, we do not need 12 calculations. We only need like 4. So.
Oh no. How did you choose 4? Where did that number come from?
That's because, okay, now if you're converting a number that's like 400,000 or something and you want to convert it down to below 40,000, then it takes like 12 octaves to do that. I can show you. So if I have a number, say, just 100,000, and I want to convert that number, and so I want to convert that number to a number below 40, and I'll click the calculate button, and the yellow is scalar. Now, scalar is a kind of a quantum physics thing. Some people believe that the machine works on a scalar wave, which is a very short invisible, and physicists have not even figured out how to measure it or detect it yet. So it's a theory that nobody, just not proven yet. And the conversion factors by scalar is by the logarithmic calculation. Now, Neil probably understands that probably better than I do, because I haven't been done that kind of stuff since the mid-1960s, so it gets a little fuzzy in my head. Okay, and if you notice in over here on the far right of the main screen, it has a choice of converting by scalar or by binary. And most people believe the scalar conversion works, they've had the best result with. I'm still open on that one. I haven't had proof, so I usually do both of them. Okay, so if you will notice here on this scalar octave, to go down to a number that's lower than 30,000, you have to come below 40,000. You come down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 octaves by scalar if you pick that number. Or if you went, okay, now, normally in music, every octave is a double or a half. Middle C is twice the frequency, double the frequency of low C. High C would be double the frequency of middle C. So, and octaves are all resonant. So if you had a low C, middle C, high C tuning fork, and you ding one of them, it will make the other two ring because they're harmonic.
Yep.
So that's
you're just factoring this out. You're just factoring it down until you get in the range that your machine can produce.
Okay, your volume is way low, so I'm having trouble hearing.
Okay, so it looks like you're just factoring those frequencies down to a point that your machine can produce. So that I understand that. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, and it's okay. The name of the formula, but it's when I used to do professional photography, and the amount of light isn't, you know, twice the distance isn't half the light. It's the square root of the distance. So it's you probably know the name of the formula, but the power diminishes by the square of, so you lose a lot of power for every octave that you raise or lower. And what we found is, we originally got turned on to this. Our friend bought a GB4000 MOPA unit, which basically only produces about 35 to 40 watts. And with his machine, it was and his wife is extremely sensitive, that she gets goosebumps and from almost any frequency, so we kind of used her as our measuring stick. And with his GB4000 35-watt machine, it was effective to 4 octaves, and any more than 4 octaves up or down, she had no reaction. With our machine set on the intense setting of over 200 watts, she reacted up to 14 octaves. So that's kind of the main reason for more power is in those conversions, because we found that the 35-watt, if you knew the frequency and you were sitting right in front of it and it wasn't a step up or step down conversion, that it was as effective as our machine. So there's, but you had to sit closer to it, and it didn't have the range, I guess you'd say. So anyway, that's where all these conversions come from. And on the right side where you have the 40 cap ceiling, the 40, that's what determines it at the level that it'll convert down to. And when you hit the apply button, it will do the same thing. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to clear the buffer for a minute, and I'm going to insert, click the insert button, and I'm going to insert 100,000. Oh,
I thought you wanted to do a different number. I thought you were going to do 4.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's okay. I guess I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but I kind of wanted to insert this so that you could see how that function worked.
Oh, okay.
So I just lost the insert button with the box. Okay, I'm going to insert 100,000 for 30 seconds. Okay, now when I hit the apply button, it automatically, you see the box came up, it says one frequency capped, 100,000, and it changed the 100,000 to 36,787.94. So I'm going to close that box, and if you go over here and look where we did the 12 octaves for 100,000, and we're doing a scalar. So over here in the scalar octave, you come down and 36, where's 3? Oh, that's 30. Okay, there should, oh, okay, now that's interesting. That, oh, right up the very top. There it is. It's the first one, the first octave down is the one that it inserted.
Yeah.
It says 36,787.930. And that's basically what it inserted over here. So that's I'm just explaining to you how that apply button changes the higher frequencies.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go back to this box over here and we'll put in, okay, let me bring our original ones back up and program sleep 1. I'm going to add it to the table. Click load, close that. Now I'm going to sort it low to high again and push the apply button to get rid of any duplicates. Do it again just to make sure we got them all. Okay, now we're back where we were.
Yeah.
And I was just explaining how the scalar binary cap ceiling apply button worked. So
Okay.
now we can go back to this conversion table over here and we can type in 3 and we don't need to now see, okay, I can calculate and we get 12 different frequencies. We don't need that many, it just gets confusing, so that's why I just put in 4. And then when you put in 4, it just cleaner. You're not looking at so many numbers.
Oh, so you're converting just 3 because the 10 doesn't have to be converted. Is that right? Is that why you put 3 in?
Well, I just started at the top of the list.
Oh, the number 3. Oh, I get it. Okay.
So over here, so in the program that we have here that's sleep 1 plus relaxation to produce is now sorted low to high, and the first number is 3. So we need to change the 3 to a number that's above 10 so that it'll work. So in the binary octave on our box over here, and we're going up, so the first one would be doubled to 6, the second one would be doubled to 12. So we need to change the 3 to 12.
Okay.
So to change the 3 to 12, you highlight it, and then right over here it says 3, and we will change that to 12.
Do you know why? Do you understand why you chose 12?
Mm-hmm. Because it's the first number above 10.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, and we just changed the 3 to 12 here, and then you click the change button, and bingo. It now 3, instead of saying 3, it now says 12.
Oh,
okay. Now that's the binary. Now I like to use both binary and scalar just because nobody knows which one works best, and there's arguments both ways. So
Okay.
just to be safe, I put them both in. So what we want to do is the first number right there in the scalar is 22.167 is the first number that's above 10. So
Okay.
what I want to do, I want to insert that number. I don't, can you, let's see, can you copy? No, you can't copy your, there's probably some way that I don't know how that you could actually copy it and save that. But so anyway, I'm going to now go back over to the program manager, click the insert button, and I'm going to insert it after the height. Okay, it's 6,000. I want to, okay, I'm going to cancel for just a second. I'm going to highlight the 12 and then insert. So you have to highlight the number, we see where it says select option before or after the 12. So I'm going to insert it after the 12, and I will type in 22.167, and I'm going to, time will be the normal 300 seconds. The reason we do 300 seconds is Rife found out by watching the stuff with his microscope that it took 3 minutes for a cell to vibrate before it would rupture. And so 3 minutes would be 180 seconds, 300 is 5 minutes. So we're running every frequency for 5 minutes just to make sure. But if you were in a hurry and you wanted to speed the program up, you could run them for 180 seconds, but
Okay.
just to be safe. So now I'm going to hit the OK button, and it's going to, now it just inserted 22.167 below the 12.
So you're going to
So
do
now,
both of them, binary and scalar.
and
Do both of
scalar,
them.
just to be safe.
Okay.
And Ken, the guy who writes the program, is working on to do exactly what this does to the high frequencies to the low frequencies. But it will not convert them both scalar and binary. You'll have a choice of one or the other, and you can play with it and see which one you like best. And then, but that's, like I told you, he said he was going to have it done in a couple of days, but he's very busy. When he says a couple of days, it usually means a month or two. So whenever that comes out, then I'll get with everybody and tell them when and how to download the new version, and it just installs over the top of this one, so you get a new version without losing any of your data. Okay, so now the next one we're going to do is we want to do the 3.59. And so we're going to go back over to our conversion box and type in 3.59. And
you're still going to use the number 4?
Yes, because these numbers we don't need. In fact, you could probably get by with just 2. I mean,
That's
I'll
the
put
part
2
I
in
don't
there.
understand.
It's arbitrary. It's just an arbitrary thing. You can trial and error it, but you're looking for something that gets the binary and the scalar above 10.
Yeah. So now I'm just going to do 2 number of calculations is how many octaves it goes. So I'm going to just do 2, and I get the same thing, and it's just a cleaner, less confusing box with
so then
2.
So then you try 2 and see if it works. If it doesn't, then you do 3 or you do 4. You just see what will work to give you your number.
So
okay,
right
I get
here,
it. I get
you
it.
can see in the teal colored box, 14.4 is the first one that's above 10. So we're going to change that 3.5, highlight it, and change that to 14.4.
Okay.
And click change.
Change.
And bingo, that 3.59 and now says 14.4. Okay, now we're going to insert, highlight the 14.4, click the insert button, and we're going to insert, we go up to the yellow in the scalar conversion. And now you have a choice. Basically the machine, each machine's a little different. Some of them will run down to 7 hertz, some of them will run down to like 9.5 or something. So arbitrarily we just say any anything above 10 because I
be
would
safe.
have to get the documentation out to see how low your machine goes. And it doesn't hurt. Okay, if you run a program that has a lower frequency in it, all that happens is the green light on the machine will come on saying it's receiving an audio signal, but the light bulb won't light. And basically nothing will overheat, nothing's basically, it turns itself off. It's a safety. The lower frequencies are hard on the bulb, and it just automatically turns it off so that it doesn't do anything. So if the machine's running, what we find is if we load a program and it has a low frequency in it and we haven't sorted high to low, and it just, you're running a program and all of a sudden the light bulb doesn't light, and it's like you run over and look to make sure everything's okay, and you'll see, oh, that's a 3.59, and it'll go for 5 minutes, and then when the next frequency comes up that's above 10, it'll come back on again. So it's just a safety feature for redundancy. Okay, so we're going to insert after the 14.4, and we're going to pick this 26.527. Oh, I put my finger on the thing, thinking that you can see my finger on the screen. Anyway, we're going to take this number and type it in here, 26.527 for 300 seconds. And boom, there you can see that it entered. So you've got 14.4, and then we just entered the scalar frequency that's above 10, the 26, get up close to 26.527. Okay, now the next one we're going to do is the 7.83. So you go back over to your box and type in 7.83. And for 2 calculation, click the calculate button. Now the first number in the binary is 15.7, so we're going to change this 7.83 to 15.7. Oops, what did and click the change button, and bingo, that one changed to 15.7. Okay, now we're going to insert this one up here, 21.284, and you highlight the 15.7 because the number it picks where it's going to insert is the last number you highlighted. And we're going to choose after. We're going to insert it after 15.7 and type in 21.284 and for 300. And click OK. And boom, now they're all there. And then we can sort it high to low again. And now every number is above 10, and it's sorted high to low. And you can slide this down, and you can see all the numbers that are there. Now, the stuff down here at the bottom is, if you see the little up and down arrows beside the word that says buffer, what that does is that changes the time either by 1 second at a time or by 10. So if you highlight the 10, you can increase your time to more if you want, or like I said, if you, okay, so this, okay, at 300 seconds, this is an 80-minute program, and say you are in a hurry and you got to leave, go to town in 50 minutes or something, you can change this down to as low as you want. You can go down to 180, which is the 3 minutes.
Okay.
And
so you just have to stay in front of it, then you know you're okay.
Yeah. And now you see that now that's, instead of a 80-minute program, that's a 48-minute program.
Okay, so it cuts it almost in half.
Yes. So, well, that's just, you're just changing the time from 5 minutes to 3 minutes, and that's what that button does. And
Okay.
you can do it 10 at a time or 1 at a time by whichever one of the boxes in the lower right corner. Now this one over here changes frequency, every frequency up by 1 or 10. So now, like, bring it back up here to the top. Now if I click this one, every frequency is going to increase by 10 hertz.
So why would you want to increase the frequency?
Sometimes, okay, get to it in a bit, of wobble function. One of the things that's been kind of interesting that somebody just brought to my attention that I hadn't really thought about, because we worked so hard to make our machine as accurate as humanly possible, and the frequencies are actually accurate to almost a thousandth of a hertz. Some of them are like a hundredth of a hertz, but we're within at least a hundredth of a hertz on every frequency of accuracy. Well, they claim that Royal Raymond Rife in the early days that his equipment, 1930s technology, was kind of all over the place and kind of varied 3 to 4 hertz at a time, and that he was kind of like shooting with a shotgun instead of a target rifle, and that ours is so accurate that sometimes the target frequency will be 1 or 2 off from what's published in a database. So there's a function that covers that there. So okay, so any questions or anything you want me to go over again on that
okay,
part?
what the question is now is, could we save these? Could we save it to the sleep one and save it to the
yeah.
to the,
okay, what
because
you can
then we'll
do,
have them in our file.
yes. Okay, when you go upper left corner
So
to the
are
file
they in order? Are they in order now? Is first sleep one there, and is next the relaxation to produce, or do we have to put them back in order so they're not all mixed up, so we have our 2 separate programs?
Okay, you can always bring either one of them back up by itself in the order that they came in, or you can save this. Okay, now when you go to the file upper left corner, the file drop-down box, and you open any program, this is, every one of those is programs that we've combined different stuff, and we've put those in and we've named them.
Yeah.
Something that we remember. And because it sorts numerically first and then alphabetically, by the ones that we use the most have a 1 in front of them because they come up first. Okay. And then you drop down, then it goes through the numbers, and then it goes A. So you see allergy is up towards the top of the list, and the very bottom of the list is ultimate zapper, white keys, that stuff. So that's how they're sorted. So I'm going to close that. So what we're going to do right here is we're going to save what we just did here and name it. So you click the file and you say click Save Program. And you can pick, if you've already done it and you just added something to one you've already so there's one for shingles. If this was, we had added something to our previous shingles program, you can say, or you can type that in, and you can, so if you call it 1, which puts it at the top of the list. So the ones we use the most, we put a 1 in front of so that they're easier to find. You don't have to scroll through the whole list just to find it. Okay, so 1, call it sleep dash relax.
Can they be separated out? Can you do sleep 1 and then relaxation produce? So if I just want to do one of them, so I don't have to do both of them, or how does that work?
Well, what you're doing is you're saving what you just did here. So
okay,
if you wanted to, okay, say you wanted to save, okay, let's just click the save button, that one's now in our thing as sleep-relax. Okay, now if we wanted to, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the table.
Okay.
No, I don't want to clear the table. Let's see, how can I do that? Okay, you can't cut and paste multiple
It'll be together. So then, which one is first? Is sleep one first, and is relaxation to produce first? What order is it in right now?
No, when we sorted them low to high, we've intermingled them.
So is that okay to intermingle? And that means I'd have to go through the whole thing if I wanted. So I'd have to do a separate program if I just wanted to do relax to produce and sleep one. I have to do it separate then.
Right, you do that. You just open it the way you opened it the first time. But what I can show you how to do. So I'm going to. Okay, I'm thinking the easiest way to do this without having to go through the whole process again.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Can you pick out the three that is the relaxation to produce, or can you do that or not?
Okay. Okay, I'm just going to hold those so I don't have to look them up again. And I'm going to bring relaxation. So it's over here, it's highlighted. And I'm going to, okay, we put that in the buffer. So it's in a buffer, I click the buffer, and there's this relaxation to produce, the 3 frequencies. Okay, so I'm going to delete the 10, delete the 7.3, and I'm going to insert 10. Oops. I'm going to insert 12. I'm going to insert 14.4. And then I'm going to insert 15.7. And I'm going to insert 21.284. And I'm going to insert 21, 22, 22.167. Oops. Okay, now I have all those. I will just sort them low to high. And now I'm going to go back to File and Save Program. And I'm going to name it, I'm just putting a 1 in front of it so it stays up front. Relaxation to produce. Okay.
How did you know that those were the ones for relaxation to produce? You just remembered those numbers? They went with that one?
Okay. Is this box just moving back and forth? Do you see it on your screen?
Yeah.
What I did was I screen captured the numbers that we changed so that I just had them and I didn't.
You remembered them. Those were the relaxation to produce ones, so you remembered them.
That's the ones that we converted and typed in. So rather than going back to the conversion, I just screen captured those frequencies and then just typed them in from that. So I didn't have to convert and go through that process.
Yeah. But didn't we
So,
also convert some of the sleep 1 ones? But those were different numbers?
if I remember right, well, we may, yeah, we might have. I'd have to bring sleep 1 back up. So anyway, just to finish here, so I'm now saving it as one relaxation to produce. Click the Save button. That goes away. Now, if you go back here, okay, we can clear this table. We can go back here and open program, and here is one sleep relax. Or no, one relaxation to produce. And click load, and boom, there it came back up. So you don't have to, that's how you can save it, that you don't have to convert it every time you turn it on.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Okay, then, yeah, so can we save the sleep 1 now, the sleep 1 one?
That's what I just showed you how to do.
He just showed you how to do that, but he saved it on his computer, so you'll have to do it on your computer.
Oh, so I don't have sleep 1 or relaxation to produce because you're just doing it on yours.
You'll have to go through and do that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not running your computer, so I'm just
that's right.
showing you on my computer how. That's why you don't have it on yours, because you're just looking at what I'm doing on my computer.
No, we got that.
Okay.
We can work through that on this.
And I might, because I might have Neil show me one time because it's a little still overwhelming to me. Anyway, okay.
We've got it recorded. That's the main thing. So I completely understand what we're doing here. So that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, then can you show the MSM? That's the other one that Craig wanted me to see because he wants me to do the Lime one and how to add that rice MSM. Yeah.
Okay. First off, let me just go through a couple more things here while we're still on the FreX16. So once you have up and running what you want in the program manager, click the Start button and the Run program comes up. Now, several things. I don't know why those. I was telling you about the wobble, and if you click this wobble button, what it does is it wobbles the frequency, I think 0.7 of a hertz both ways. It's programmable, and if you go to the Help section, Help and Tips, and you don't scroll down because it's what's on the page is only what's under Introduction. So you click on Wobble, and this comes up. It tells you all about the wobble and how to adjust the wobble to more or less, and then you can save it, and that you can choose how much you want anything to wobble. So that's what that one does. Okay. The other thing is this pulse. Now, a lot of people believe that you can turn the machine on and off while it's vibrating at, say, 100 times a second, 100 hertz. You can also make it turn on and off at a second frequency, so you're banging two frequencies together to create more harmonics. This 7.83, there's all kinds of explanations for that. Some people say that that's the vibration, the rate that the Earth vibrates at, or the energy field around the Earth vibrates at, or there's lots of theories to that one. But you can choose, you can have it vibrate at 10 hertz, 10 times a second, 50 hertz times a second, and what it does is you're taking your main frequency that turns on and off, and then you're vibrating it at another frequency that they bounce against each other and create more harmonics and more side frequencies. They call them side bands that are actually different than your programmed frequency, and sometimes that works really good to hit things that people have found frequencies, and it may be the harmonic that's doing the work, not the exact frequency that they found. So because we're not allowed to research and share and do this with high quality equipment because of the suppression of the technology, that it's a lot of it's kind of guessing, by golly, I hate to say. So that's what that pulse button does. The sweep button, you do not need to turn it on. What this is for is when it changes frequency, so like you see here in this box, if it changes from 10 to 12, it will take 5 seconds and it will step by step in 5 seconds. The purpose for that is if you're using this program to run handheld electrical devices and you shift from a low frequency to a high frequency, it'll actually shock you. So by doing it gradually, it doesn't zap you. We don't need it to run a plasma bulb, so you never check the sweep function. The low to high filtering, what that does is any frequency below 5, what's written there, will the computer will output square wave instead of sine wave. Sometimes the lower frequencies will register better if the input is square wave. Anything above about 20 hertz, the square wave confuses the machine, so basically you always leave this button down here on sine wave, and if you want to, we don't check it because you don't need it because it doesn't run anything below 5, so we don't have to worry about that. So these should all not be checked. And this program and this Explore button, there's a bug in the program that he's also fixing, that the Explorer is you can click these buttons down here and it will raise all the frequencies 1 or 2. And if you're running a frequency and having no reaction, you can explore by moving it up or down 1 or 2 hertz to see if you get a reaction. That function doesn't work at the moment, but he's working on that one as well. Okay, any other questions about the FreX16 program?
No, I'm okay with that.
Okay, so we'll close that and we will bring up FreX-MCN. So there's a icon on it that looks just like the FreX16 icon, but underneath of it says FreX-MCN. Okay, and there's what that program comes up looking like. So are you seeing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now select save sweep files. So this thing, what it is there's 8 channels that you can pick which ones run by whether you highlight or don't highlight that. Now you can click, we've included I think 8 or 9 on your computer.
Or you're doing the MSM one now?
Yes, this is
okay,
that
no,
other
this is
program.
what I have to do for the line. Okay. So
okay,
how did
so
you get to that screen?
Okay, you double clicked on, okay, I don't think you can see that because that's on another one of my other screens. The icon on the lower left of your screen on your computer that has the same picture, little as the FreX16, but underneath of
right
it
now
says,
it's just, we just have a blank page right now. Oh, okay. Okay,
I turned it off, turn it back on. So you double click that icon that's under the FreX16 icon on your computer screen.
Okay, because that's where I couldn't find. I'm going to get my little computer.
Yeah, you need your little.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. There's a FreX one here. It's on the first page on the home page right below it. I clicked that one.
Yeah.
Double click it. Okay, I get it. Because I was. Oh, there it is. Okay, I got it. I found it. Okay, I get it. Okay, good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, at the bottom center is a select save sweep file, and you can drop down the drop down menu, and so just one of the line ones. So here's what I did was there's 40 of the most powerful line frequencies that everybody's ever found anywhere. I took all 40 of them and divided by 5 so that there were eight frequencies in each one of these, line 1, line 2, line 3. So you can see right there, I've highlighted and selected line 1, And by doing that, there's all 8 channels are active, and you see the first one the first frequency goes from 253.8 to 254.2. So what I'm doing is I'm sweeping that first frequency, which is actually halfway in between those two numbers, to I'm guessing 1 hertz below and 1 hertz above. I'm stepping it at 0.05 hertz every step, so it goes click, 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 and I'm every 150 seconds it steps 5/100ths of a hertz. Okay, and then you click the set button and that gets it ready, and the volume on each one of those is 12,000, and the duration on each one of those is 20 minutes. And so line 2 is the second of 40 frequencies. I'm sweeping from 1 below to 1 above for 20 minutes, and we're running 8 frequencies simultaneously and sweeping them from 1 cycle below to 1 cycle above. That's what those are doing. Now I'm going to push. I'm not sure what's going to happen if I push the start button, if it's going to come through on our screen or not. I'll push it and see. Oh, there you go. You heard that? That's what's going to the machine. Did you hear that? Did that come through on yours? Okay,
no.
Let me try it again. Okay, did that come through on your end?
A sound?
It was like a rumbling.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's coming through on my headphones, but not going into the microphone.
Okay.
Go to you. But anyway, you could do the same thing with just without the audio cord plugged into your netbook, and you would hear what it actually sounds like, and that's what's being sent to the machine to run 8 frequencies simultaneously as they sweep from 1 hertz below to 1 hertz above.
Okay, so what? So
okay, now the thing you need to remember about that is because everything, our machine doubles everything. The FreX software has a function of cutting it in half, so that little button that says SQ2F times 2 always has to be checked.
now where are we? Where is this SQ thing? I'm not sure.
Okay, on bottom right of the screen, there's 2 buttons to check. One says AM Auto, and one says SSQ2F.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
that button always has to be checked. But when you click, if you run any of these programs that I've saved, any one of those now, if I go to line 2, it's a different set of frequencies. It starts at 532, 533, 596, 604, so that, and we found this to be extremely powerful for a line.
Okay.
And it's one to kind of be careful of because it's so powerful it's put people in bed for a day that they had that much of a reaction from it. But because you've been running Lime stuff, prior, you're probably not. I mean, somebody for the first day that they do it, you wouldn't necessarily want to. You would run one of these, like Lime 1, and wait 3 days before you'd run the next one. But in your case, you should be okay because you've already.
So I might the first day just try Lime 1 and that's it.
Right, and it's only 20 minutes, so it's a quick one. One thing you have to remember about running, okay, my way of explaining it is if you had 100 tuning forks set up on a table, and you went down, started at the left side, and you went down a row, and you dinged each tuning fork, got to the other end, and all 100 of them are ringing. You go back to the beginning, and before the vibration stops or wears out or whatever you want to call it, you ding them again. So these sweep programs ding it for a half a second or something, and then go down the line and then come back, and they keep dinging it, so all these frequencies keep ringing. If you can imagine 100 tuning forks set up on a table, and you just keep going up and down the line so that all of them continuously ring, and eventually each one will have rang for 3 minutes, which will do the job that you're asking it to do. Okay, now to better explain that, if you go on the drop-down list to the 8-channel ascending 30-minute sweep, and you pick that one, and what it is they found out that if you run a sweep from 500 hertz to 25,000 hertz, Jeff Garth, the guy that invented the GB4000 MOPA Rife machine, found out that that would hit every needed frequency to cover every known anything to anybody for anything, and it's a shotgun effect that covers everything. And his thing to run 500 to 20, they've calculated it out, to run 500 to 25,000 took 7.5 hours to cover everything. The guy that wrote the FreX program said, okay, if we do 8 channels, we can cut the time required down to 30 minutes. So instead of a 7.5 hour program, it's a 30-minute program, and it's extremely effective. If you can name it and there's a known frequency for it, it's the most powerful. But if you've got something going on that you can't name and you don't know exactly what it is, you can run this 30-minute 8-channel sweep. And what it is this is ascending, so it starts at the low frequency and works up. If you click the one that says 4 ascend, 4 descend, 30-minute sweep, what this one does is half of them, it goes from 500 to 25,000 on 4 channels, and it goes from 25,000 down to 500 on the next 4 channels. So half of them are coming up in frequency, while the other half are coming down in frequency, and they beat against each other and make all kinds of side frequencies, sidebars, and harmonics that cover every frequency that has anything to do with anything. So the FreX MCM is a program to use if the known frequencies out of the database aren't doing anything, aren't doing what you expect them to.
Okay, so how would you, now you just put in the Lime one, so how do you actually make it run then? How would you make it run?
Okay, so after when you highlight it with the drop-down box and you highlight the one you want, you have to hit the set button, the button right in the middle, and what that, I'm not exactly sure why you have to hit the set button. And then all you do is you click the start button. And when you click the start button, and then it runs the
so it actually just starts running it on your machine?
Runs it on the machine, which is plugged in to the computer's plugged into the machine, and the light bulb, when you watch the light bulb, because it kind of goes through some interesting gyrations, because it's as those frequencies all bounce against each other, sometimes you'll watch the bulb and it kind of does some fun stuff. But
so if I want to, I'm going to get my little computer right now, because I'm just going to try it. I have my computer on. I have it on the little 8-channel sweep function generator. So I go to my little arrow here, and I'm going to click line 1, and then I'm going to hit, do I hit save?
No, hit the set button.
Hit set. Okay, that's set in. Now go
Okay,
down.
when you do that, you notice that all the volume things turn green, and it
Yeah.
came up with, okay, now just hit the start button.
Okay,
Have you
now,
got it plugged in? Have you got it plugged into your machine?
no, because I don't have it plugged into the machine because I'm downstairs. But then, do I also have to do the next thing? I have to put line 1 in, and I also have to put the ascend thing in too. I put both of those in.
No. It only runs one at a time.
Oh, so I just hit line 1 and I hit start. That's all I do.
Right. That's all you do, and it'll run for 20 minutes.
So what was the ascend thing? Why are you doing that ascend thing?
Okay, that was a different program, and what it was is the one program is 8 channels ascending that start low and work high from 500 to 25,000. I've done one, but I don't think it's in your computer, that starts high and goes low. So it would be 8 channels descending. So the the 4 ascend and the 4 descend is the first 4 channels, 1 through 4, are 500 to 25,000 starting low going high, and the second 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 channels are 25,000 starting high and going lower. And so half the frequencies are increasing each step and half of them are decreasing each step, and they beat against each other and create harmonics that cover things. There's no way of, if you hit something that actually you get goosebumps or your hair stands on end or your stomach kind of churns a little bit, there's no way of knowing exactly what frequency did it in this one. That's the advantage of the FreX16 program, is if you're sitting there and running a 5-minute frequency and all of a sudden you get goosebumps and your hair stands on end and your stomach starts churning, you know that you've hit a frequency that's having a major effect on you. And there's a hit response button, and what it does is it saves it so you don't have to write it down. I mean, before he invented that little hit response button, if you felt, we always had a notepad beside the computer, and if all of a sudden there was a frequency that we could really feel, we would write it down.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions about the FreX MCN?
No, I got that.
If you want to go into, you can load any one of these. I'm going to close this and just bring up an empty one. Okay, now this is the empty one and there's nothing in it. So I'm going to write, this is how you write these programs. I'm going to start, can you see it on your screen?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Okay, so in the start I'm going to say just type in 500, oops, 5,000. And in the end, so I'm going to sweep from 500 to 1,000. Okay, and right now, so if I stepped 1 hertz at a time every second, now when you hit the set button, the set button is kind of like a calculate button. So I hit the set button and you see if I start at 500, go to 1,000, so it's going to sweep at 1,000. It's going to step 1 hertz at a time, and it's going to, every second it's going to go up, so it'll go 500, 501, 502, 503 at 1 second at a time, and it will take 8, oh, I keep putting my finger in the screen thinking you can see my finger. It will take 8.33 seconds. Okay, now if I wanted to, I can, every step I can, okay, I can change this to 0.1. Oh, I'll change it to 0.1. Hit the set button, and now it's going to step 1/10. Instead of stepping 1 hertz at a time, it's going to step 1/10 of a hertz at a time. Now it's going to take 83 minutes to run that program. And then you can change the 1 to every 2 seconds. I'm going to step it, hit the set. Now it takes 166 minutes to run that program. Okay, then at the top here, if you want all 8 to read the same as the top, you click this set channel 1 step, and boom, all of them change to 0.1. Same thing with this one. It does. What you do is you write a the frequencies you want to go from to, how big a stair steps you want the thing to go up or down, and the time for each step. And then you can change the amount. So if you want to make this a 30-minute program, you can change either the steps back to 1. You can play with these numbers to get the time that you want, and then you write 8 separate programs, and when you get done and it's what you want. Oh, and also for the volume control for our machine, you want 12,000. So anytime you write a program, you want it to be 12,000, and set all volumes now all set to 12,000, and you want to make sure that the 2-time box is checked. And when you get it the way you want it, then you click save, and what it does is a box comes up that types in what you want to save, and every program that you save will then be in this drop-down box. Okay, we'll just cancel it. So all of these programs are ones that I've written and saved, and anytime any program that you write, so you find 5 frequencies that you want to run, you make a channel for each one. You can go 5 hertz below to 5 hertz above, or 1 hertz below to 1 hertz above, and then it will run whichever ones you have checked. So you can.
So you're saying, like, if like say I talk to my friend who has an amp coil and I find out a frequency, you're saying that I could actually program one. That's what you're saying.
Yes. Yes. So you can program. You can use the FreX16 and insert that frequency and run that single frequency by itself for 5 minutes or 3 minutes, whatever time you pick. Or if you want to sweep that program, because his machine will have sweeps as well as single frequencies. And so if he says, well, it's a sweep from 500 to 600 for 20 minutes. So then you can program that into this sweep program, and then you save it at whatever name you remember that works good for you to remember it. And then all you have to do is open the program, do the drop-down box, and pick the one that you want.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
now,
That's something. Yeah. Okay.
And it's actually easier to do to write it in a text editor, which, okay, so I'm sure I'm going to bring up one. Let's see, I'm going to open my text editor to find it. Where is it? Okay. Where is it on the phone? Find it. Where is it? Can't find my text editor program.
I just have to ask him one more thing. I put a 528 in, then I'm done.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll open Notepad. You can just do it. You have mostly Apples, right? Your only Windows machine is the little netbook that you have.
So I'm sorry. Were you asking me a question? Oh.
Okay, now I'm going to open okay. I'm not, okay, I don't want to save as, I'm using a program I'm not, okay, let me, I don't seem to have a, okay. Okay, I will. My trouble is that I've, oh, there is Notepad. I couldn't remember the name of it, that's why. Okay, I'm going to open one of the suite programs. And the files are all saved in the C drive program files, and they're FreX, okay, FreX16, and they're sweep. So I'm going to open that file. Okay, so in a text editor, you can actually, this is how you, so Neil will know how to do this, and it's a little more complicated for the swap files, for the sweep files, than it is for, okay, the FreX16 files are extremely easy to, okay, here's anxiety, boom. Okay, that's all it is to write a file for the FreX16. And you do that in a text editor. Neil would know how to do that. You know, you can see how simple it is. The first number is the order that it's in, comma, the second number is a frequency, comma, the third number is the time in seconds. And then when you save it, it'll save as it as a text file, but you have to change the extension from .txt to .prg. And it's really simple to write programs and save them. And when you save them, they will then come up in that drop-down box that says File, Open Program, and you'll save them there. So that's something for Neil that later, that it just to show you where those are and how they work. It makes it very simple.
Okay.
Okay. Any next question?
So there's just one more, and then Neil actually has to go into his office in town, so then he'll have to, he just says we can do this one more, and then he's got to turn it off just because he has to go to town. And so I just want to see, I want to practice it. I actually have my machine up. I want to see how to add one, because I want to add the 528 to different ones that you talked about. And so I have my machine on, I'm watching you, and I'm going to practice doing it as you do it. I'm going to do a 528. Can I actually save a 528 so I just have it in here, like call it, what's it called, the 528? It's like a DNA. Can I save in my file, can I save a 528 in there so then I can just give it a name, and anytime I want to do the 528, it's already put in? Can I do that?
Yes. Okay, so do you have your screen up?
I have my screen up, so I'm going to do it.
Okay, so with your screen up, where it automatically, the default is 6,000 for 300 seconds, or
yeah, I have that.
Yours, I think is, okay, highlight the 6,000.
Okay, highlight the 6,000. Okay, I did it.
Under the change button, change that to 528.
Okay.
Type in 528, click the change button, and just leave it at the 300. Now go over to the upper left file, drop down, and click.
Do I click the word change? Oh no, it went into the time. It went in the wrong place.
Oh, okay.
I did it wrong.
So, okay, click the clear button down at the very bottom.
Clear. Okay.
Okay, then insert.
Insert. Oh, so do I put it in now? What came up? Yeah, so I put 528 in that little pink thing.
And then 300 seconds.
Okay, 300. Okay.
Now click
then
OK.
I hit OK. Okay, now I have 528 and 300. So.
Okay, now go over to the upper left corner to the file drop down.
Okay.
And drop down 3 and highlight Save Program.
Okay. Did that.
Now,
okay.
Now, erase the default and type in 528.
Just type in 528.
Okay, click Save.
And then hit Save. Okay.
Now, just click Closed.
Okay.
Okay,
So now
okay,
go
clear
back
the
to my
table.
file.
Yeah, clear the table.
Okay.
And let's just, let's go to relax, do the database, relaxation to produce, just send a buffer.
Okay, relaxation to
Add
produce.
the buffer. Okay,
Send
now
the
you've
buffer. Buffer. So now
So
I
you
have
got,
relaxation to produce. It's 15.
okay.
But I wouldn't want to put it there because
Well, I'm
I
just
would have
showing
to
you.
convert those. I get it. Okay, I get it.
I'm just using this as an example because I knew
get it. Okay.
it didn't have 100 frequencies. Now go
Yeah.
back to File,
and then
Program.
Open Program, and then do 528, and then hit
Highlight
Load.
528. Okay,
hit
now
Load.
instead of Clear Table, click Add to Table.
Oh, I hit Load. I shouldn't have hit Load. I made a mistake.
Okay, and then when you add to table, it will add it. So to add 528 to any program you want to run, that you now can just add to table, and it'll add it to any program you're running.
Okay, and if I just want to do, so now I have 528. I got to do that. Okay, let me just, I'm going to clear it. I'm going to do it again because I did it wrong. Relaxation to produce, send a buffer, oh, it's 2 of them now. That's okay. Now I go to File, and then I go to Open Program, and I find 528, and I hit Add to Table instead of Load. Add to Table, and then if I clicked Add to Table, and then I hit Load.
Yes, because if
then
you
hit Load. There we go. Because I hit Load before Add to Table, and it didn't go on.
Yeah, what it did is
it's because I was adding it to a different one, so I have to do Add to Table first.
right.
Okay.
The first choice, the default choice is clear the table, so it would clear everything off of the table and then just add 528, so that would be the only thing you had. But to add it to an existing program, you highlight 528, click Add to Table, and then click Load.
Then Load. Okay. Oh, that's easy. Okay, well, thank you so much for everything. And I know I'm going to be going over it with Neil because, I mean, he's the brainy guy. I mean, he's like, he gets more of this stuff, you know, you guys are talking about being the engineer and everything. So yeah, and then what he'll do is he's going to take this little tutorial and he'll email it to you so you'll have it.
Okay, perfect.
And then you send it to other people because that was a lot of information you just gave out, and so then they can, it's like a little mini manual for those things.
That's good.
Oh, thank you so much for your help. I'm excited now.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Right.
And then that'll help Craig and Neil. I'm glad to have met you finally, even if it's only on the phone.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you very much, and I'll get this. It'll take me a couple days to get this